Today will mark the third day of testimony in the trial of three men charged with murder in the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick, Georgia. So we know on Monday the state called three officers who responded to the scene to the stand. Investigator Sheila Ramos described graphic pictures she took of the scene and said she didn't take any pictures of Travis McMichael's truck because she didn't know anything about it at the time. Meanwhile, the first responding officer, former Glenn County police officer Ricky Minshew, was asked why he did not render aid to Arbery. Well, the former officer said that he was the only one there and he didn't know the circumstances about what had happened. He said he needed to wait for backup and did not have the proper medical equipment in his patrol car. But the biggest answer in terms of the potential outcome of the case was also the shortest. Prosecutors asked Ricky Minshew, that first responding officer, if William Roddy Bryan told him that the three defendants were making a citizen's arrest. Well, Minshew said, quote, "No, ma'am." Remember, that was a key part of the argument for the defense. Let's head out to On Your Side's Renata Gregorio right now. She is live for us this morning right in front of the Glenn County Courthouse. Renata, what did our legal experts have to say about Monday's key witnesses?
Keitha, she points out several things that are good for each side in this case, but believes that ultimately Officer Minshew's testimony will help the state. Now, out here in the grass, there were a lot of family and supporters of Ahmaud Arbery who were praying together, and it was emotional out here as it was inside, as graphic video and photos were shown for hours. Jurors were said to be squirming in their seats, and it may be another day of that today.
I heard is like an agonal breathing. I've always heard it being called a death rattle.
Officer Minshew's testimony was a little rocky. As we can see, we saw the defense come in and honestly impeach him based on a prior inconsistent statement that he made.
First Coast News legal analyst Latoya Williams says she believes former Officer Ricky Minshew's testimony is good for the state, saying it shed light on William Roddy Bryan's actions the day Ahmaud Arbery was killed. She recalls in Travis McMichael's attorney's opening statements,
he said that he ran back towards Travis, so Travis had no choice but to shoot him. But what we heard from Officer Minshew's testimony today was that the reason why Ahmaud Arbery ran back towards Travis was because William Roddy Bryan cut him off.
Do you see Mr. McMichael trying to console his son?
I see him have his hand on his shoulder.
He says he had no choice.
Defense attorneys argue body camera video shows Travis McMichael upset after the shooting.
It was an attempt to humanize the defendant here, and it was a defense strategy that I think worked pretty well.
The defense argues self-defense when Arbery was killed. Arbery's aunt, on the other hand, says that after Monday's testimony, it sounded like a hunt to her. We'll hear from family coming up in the next half hour. Live in Brunswick, Renata Gregorio, First Coast News, On Your Side.
Thanks for that, Renata. And folks, our coverage continues online, including analysis from First Coast News legal experts. Just go to firstcoastnews.com or check out our First Coast News app.